Hey guys, I'm down in amazing Kiawah Island, South Carolina, my sister's place here, enjoying some beach time and some fishing. And I just checked some email and I saw that there's this very cool response to the blog that I posted last week, I believe, on mastering your thinking, in which I talked about success, like in my definition of success, which is of course is having your life on your own terms. Having your life be as you want it to be, right? Redefining conventional definitions of success, which typically just have to do with money, you know? And I've met so many people, and so have we all, who have accumulated a lot of financial wealth, but aren't necessarily happy at all with the way their lives are. And how could that possibly be success? Right? You've got all this money, but you wish your life was different. It just doesn't make sense. So really the point that I want to make today is that we've been brainwashed. We've all been brainwashed into believing that there are things that we ought to prioritize in our lives that aren't necessarily in any way congruent with what our true values are. So the comment from the blog last week was actually pretty impressive. She said, I'm not really skilled I'm not skilled at not being busy. That's great. I'm no good at not being busy. In other words, I'm not good at chilling out and simply just being and relaxing. Like being in a place like this. And I get that. I relate. Because here I'm like halfway into a 2-week holiday here. And well, here I am, right? I'm working, so to speak. But I love doing this. However, I would be lying to you if I didn't say that there's a part of me that thinks, you know, you should probably do a post. Yeah, you really should. You should, the should thing. So my friend who responded, you know, she mentioned to me that she was raised by an immigrant family who was really accustomed to just working hard, and that the belief system that was pounded into her head was that, you know, if you sleep in on a Saturday, you're lazy. I get that too. I get that. So we all have, to varying degrees, this addiction to more for its own sake, right? Like the American addiction to not enough. So here's the question that I want to recommend that we all ask ourselves with frequency. The question, and this is, I tell you, I know of a few questions that are more useful and important, valuable to ask ourselves than this one. How do you most profoundly want to use the rest of your life? I'm going to repeat that. How do you most profoundly want to use the rest of your life? And if you don't have an answer to that question, then I really suggest that you spend some time, like you block out some time, schedule some time to really reflect on that and to come up with an answer. That's not the same question as, okay, so what do I want to do now? What's my next job? That is not at all what that question is. The question is, when I'm at the end of my life, what am I going to want to be able to say about how I used it, so I know that I used it well, so that I have no regrets. So I have no regrets. This life is so precious that why would we screw with it? You know, let's really stop and say, well, hold on a second. I have been doing this for 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. I don't care how long we just get so used to doing something, we don't stop and say, is this what I want to be doing anymore? Is there something else? I got a coaching client right now who's been practicing law for 30 years and is making a massive transition into inventing, becoming an inventor, which is a huge leap of faith from something that seems so secure, seems being the operative word, seems so secure, right? But when in fact it isn't, because it's like it's doldrums. It became so painfully boring. It was like a waste of life, into something much more vibrant. But it is scary because of our conditioning, the conditioning that might not be prudent. Put aside that conditioning and ask yourself, how do I most profoundly want to use the rest of my life, so that when I'm at the end of it, if I have the opportunity to do so, I can say, you know what, I don't need a do-over. That's living. All right, create miracles. Talk to you soon.